March continues to be a deceiving price action. Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com, your daily market recap, March 19th, 2024. Like, subscribe, and let's see what the SPY and friends brought us in the past trading day. We will start over, of course, with the SPY. As we can see, green day, 0.56 to the upside, but overall, sideways move continuation. All comes down to FOMC rate decision Wednesday, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time. If the market will like the decision, we will continue upside towards the 533 and maybe even the 560. If the market will not like Fed decision, this yellow line, yellow zone will not hold, and we will go inside to the 503 and then towards this gap at the 497. QQQ, another day. Sideways move inside the yellow zone. As you can see, the yellow zone is the most important zone of support and resistance. Just one click away. We got a sell signal last Friday because we broke and stayed inside the yellow zone. And since then, Monday, Tuesday, inside the yellow zone. Bulls are having a rough time holding inside the uptrend channel, holding above the lower border of this uptrend channel. If the rate decision, if market will not like rate decision, and if the market will decide to go to the downside, breaking below the 432, this gap at the 425 will get filled, in my opinion, all across the board. Too many gaps needs to get filled if the bulls wants to retain their power for the next leg up. Bitcoin, sell signal, broke below the yellow zone, broke below this uptrend channel. Now the 62 area needs to hold. It was a very tough resistance over here, then became support. Now once again, bulls are trying with all their power to hold above this area, breaking down and under, and we are back to the 59, below 59. We will see the same price action we saw over here to the upside. We will see the same price action to the downside, back to the 51. This is how it looks on the daily. This is how it looks on the 4 hours. Downtrend continuation. This is how it looks on the 2 hours. The 2 hours, we already changed direction to the downside. As you can see, the FTI gives us everything that we need and any time frame that we need. Can bulls of Bitcoin retain the 62? Can they retain above the 60K? For now, all across the board, especially in crypto land, we are breaking to the downside. Maybe it's the sign that also the SPY and the Qs and the rest of the market is going down. Ethereum, super bearish day yesterday, 10% to the downside. Now 31.51, this Fibonacci area holding support. Below it, 28 is the next support. Overall, bulls of Ethereum are super weak in the past 1 week or so. Look at this. We are in 1 week. We are back almost 1 month to the 31.40 area. Dow Jones continues to move to the downside, holding strong above this lower border of this uptrend channel. Broke above the yellow zone, but overall, look at the Dow Jones just moving sideways inside this box. Breaking above, long continuation, breaking below, and we are heading back to the 377, 378 area. And of course, this is only my opinion. We're still at Dow Jones, IWM. You need to wait for your turn. This is the next support below, and if the Dow Jones will break below this yellow box, above it, we can take trend lines above it, and we will meet the 400 together with this blue trend line. IWM below the yellow zone, holding above the 200 area. The 200 area is a super important area of support and resistance since December, middle of December of 2023. Now holding a support, breaking below, and we will see the 196 below this area, it means that the IWM is breaking below the lower border of the uptrend channel, which means this uptrend is over and we will see all these red levels to the downside, and yes, all the way to 185 is in the play. Magnificent 7 MAGS ETF holding strong above the yellow zone, but we are still below the middle trend line. Moving sideways, we can take FTI off the chart and we can see that Magnificent 7 also inside this box. This is how March looks almost all across the board. Sideways move inside the box, breaking below the box, and this gap at the 36 will get filled. Below it, you have another gap at the 34.60. And we know that more than 85-90% of all gaps will get filled. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And now you can also see this blue trend line holding as resistance for the higher highs. It's a good resistance. It's resistance for higher highs. Every time Magnificent 7 tries to reach this blue line, it means it's making higher high. This is a good resistance. We are still inside this uptrend, as you can see. Still inside this uptrend, breaking below this area, below the 38, 37 to the downside. This gap will get filled above the box, and we will meet 41, 42 to the upside on Magnificent 7. SOXX with a doji closed this gap over here. It had a small gap from February 29th. Also this gap got filled, this gap got filled. Now the SOXX also have the 204 gap, but for now SOXX holding nice above this uptrend channel. Look at this uptrend line since November, holding the higher lows. Also a doji. We might get some kind of a reversal to the upside, same as it did here, same as it did here and here. Every time since November, SOXX reaching to this blue line, we had a reversal. Can we get a reversal? A doji off a trend line is the most significant sign for what might come. A trend reversal, let's see, above the 224. I want to see 2-3 days above the 224, and then we can say we're heading back to the 240 and then 264. Before we continue, one request, one tiny request: hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future video or live. We are going live every day 8:30 a.m. preparing together chart requests, Q&As. We are preparing together for the next trading day. Let's continue with the gold. Gold holding above the 2158, 2155 area. This triangle is holding, and as we can see, price action of gold is getting tighter and tighter as the days go by. Long continuation breaking above this triangle towards the 2195, and then we have all the levels to the upside. In case gold will break to the downside, always prepare for both sides. We will see 2130 and 2090. Next we have the XLF, the financial sector ETF, holding inside the uptrend channel. For now, this is the strongest sectors of them all, in my opinion, from what I see. Holding strong above the yellow zone, long continuation above the 4130, and then we will see 4240 and 4440 to the upside. XLU also trying to bounce back, holding strong inside the uptrend channel, held strong in the past week or so above the yellow zone. Once you put the FTI on your chart, everything becomes much more easier for us to analyze and take better, smarter, and less emotion decisions. Now let's see long continuation towards the 6450, 6550, and 6680. Apple is next, trying to break above and out of this downtrend channel. For now, failing. We are inside the yellow zone. Now let's see, can Apple, after FOMC rate decision, break above and out above the 179, and then we will start taking our long position on Apple. And when I say we, I'm talking about, of course, the Fibonacci Traders Discord. This is the Fibonacci Traders Discord. You are more than welcome to join us. We have premium room dedicated for day traders, swing lounge for swing traders. We have options room, we have crypto, we have general chats, lingo definitions to make our life much more easier. And without talking too much, we are helping each other making money. And of course, we have the same thing in Hebrew: day traders, swing traders, general chat, and the course zone, which is for past, present, and future students. So join the Fibonacci Traders Discord. Let's trade together. An elite team of traders which are dedicated to do one thing: help each other make money. Google, this gap at the 143, in my opinion, needs to get filled. This gap got filled. Now this gap needs to get filled, staying above the yellow zone, and then next leg up. All, of course, depends on how the market will react to the FOMC rate decision. Microsoft holding strong above the yellow zone. Now let's see continuation towards the 427, which will give us a new all-time highs. Overall, Microsoft looking better than most of the market. Tesla, inside candle, which means bears are still here. Bulls are fighting for their lives. Bulls wants to get away from the 160 area, from the 159 area, and wants to get back inside this yellow zone. Bears will try to do everything in their power to stay below this yellow zone for now. Yes, we got ourselves a buy signal Monday, but as we can see, we are still below the yellow zone. We are still inside this massive downtrend channel. Amazon holding strong above the yellow zone. We are above the buy signal in the past few days or so, holding above the yellow zone, but as the rest of the market look left, Amazon still inside this box. We can clearly see this box, right? Nothing much. This is how end of February and March until now looks almost all across the board. Long continuation, in my opinion, only above the 180, and then we will see massive bull run 190 and 203 on Amazon. Below this yellow box, this gap needs to get filled, and then you have this gap at the 160 on Amazon to the downside. Netflix, slowly, each and every day, higher lows. Nobody talks about Netflix, but Netflix looks pretty strong. Look how it's holding above the yellow zone. We have this gap at the 575, and we have this gap at the 560. Long continuation on Netflix above the 626, and then 664 and 724. Most of the market says no rate increase or decrease. Market, let's see how it likes it. Most importantly, it all depends on what Mr. Powell will say for future rate decisions. It's more importantly than what he will say today. This is what the market will react to, the future anticipations of Mr. Powell and the rest of the FOMC. Will we have rate cuts or rate increases in the near future? Meta still inside the yellow zone. We are below the sell signal because we are inside the yellow zone, still holding inside this uptrend channel, but not surprising, sideways move also on Meta. Nvidia also sideways move with all the noise, with all the huss and all the fuss. sideways move since beginning of March, holding strong above this 854 area above the yellow zone, long continuation above the 907 and then 974 and then back above 1000. Below this one, this gap at the 825 will get filled below the 781. The 781 is the last line in the sand. This gap at the 690 will get filled. AMD, another bad day, 4.8% to the downside on AMD. Broke below the lower border of this uptrend channel. We are below the uptrend channel. We are below the yellow zone. Yes, we got ourselves a doji, but we are above the 177, super important area of support. It was, look left, since middle of January until end of February, it was a very tough resistance. Now it needs to hold the support, breaking below, and then we will see 161 and all the rest of the red lines to the downside. SMCI, another day, another 9% to the downside. This is why we always say the only thing we have full control of in our trading journey is risk management, is stop loss. Stop loss is your best friend. If you don't use stop loss, you will lose, and you will lose big. SMCI, 30% to the downside in just few trading days. Less than 1 week. Since the peak of here, last Thursday, low of Tuesday, almost 30% to the downside. Yes, it went up, super crazy, but 30% from your money you earned. Downside, now you have a gap over here that needs to get filled, but before it, we have the gap at the 773. In my opinion, this gap will get filled before this gap, and maybe a touch at the 692. Ladies and gentlemen, when you trade, the only thing you need to prepare is to the downside. Take care of the downside. The upside will take care of itself. MSTR, 5.7% to the downside today. It also gave us, it was 15% already to the downside, and from the last peak, just last Friday, MSTR, 31% to the downside. We are still inside an uptrend channel, holding barely inside the uptrend channel, but we are inside the yellow zone. Let's see if bulls of MSTR can stay inside this uptrend channel, breaking down and under 1100, and then this gap at the 807 and back to the 664. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video. If you find it helpful, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Will be much appreciated. Until the next video, until the next live, 8:30 AM Eastern Time. Stay safe.